back to All About That Disney Life. I am Danny B, the girl who is all about that Disney life. We now are moving on to our next restaurant. We are talking about the Tusker House, which is at Animal Kingdom. So let's talk about the backstory to the Tusker House, and this is what the facts have told me. I think this is just the story that Disney has made up about the Tusker House, but if this is true, let me know at least. So, up until 1961, the port of Harambe was subjugated by European colonists and imperial rule. During this time, the land was exploited by European colonial explorers who used the British-run Tusker House as their base. Following the Revolution of 1961, which earned the people of Harambe its freedom, Tusker House would be turned into a dining service of Africana meals and be used by the citizens of Harambe. So let's move on and talk about the summary. So basically what the Tusker House is about. The Tusker House is a dining service in the Africa section of Disney's Animal Kingdom. It is also a character meeting location for characters such as Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy, and Daisy Duck. So, Tusker House in connection to Kilimanjaro safaris. There are boards and offices indicating that Tusker House is used as a base for Kilimanjaro safaris activity in the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. And bonus trivia for Tusker House. Due to the colonial history of the Tusker House, it is possible that it hosted characters who traveled to Harambe during its colonial era. This would include operatives of the Adventure Trading Company and Trader Sam, and I'm assuming this is a connection to the Jungle Cruise at Adventureland at Magic Kingdom. There is a business in Harambe called Girody's Masks and Beads, referencing Imagineer Joe Road. And a board in the restaurant references a business based within leading airplane tours over Mount Kilimanjaro. So the pros to the Tusker House, it's really great food and it's a buffet. Like, I don't know if it's gone back to the buffet, but when I first went in 2019, it was a buffet character dining. You can't go wrong with a buffet, and it's really great food, especially for a buffet. And we especially liked the beef, and my husband really liked the green sauce that came with the meal. Also, the bread, you can't go wrong with fresh, homemade, hot bread. It's really, really great. And it's a character dining. This is a great opportunity if you don't want to wait in the very long lines at the Disney parks to get autographs and pictures. You can get autographs and pictures at a character dining. You can't go wrong with that because the characters, not right away, but they will take their time. If there is time when you're sitting there, the characters will come to your table and interact with you, and you can get pictures. You can ask for their autographs. It's not a big deal. And it's a great atmosphere. What I like about the Tusker House, it's 2 levels. So you're basically check in and you wait on the lower level, and then you go to the upper level, and that's where the buffet, and that's where you sit down and eat. And it's big, it's spacious, it's really, really great. So for the cons, I can only think of one con and for the Tusker House, and it was the price. And I'm going to tell you why. In 2019, when I first went with my mom and my sister, we used the dining plan. Dining plan is you get to pick whatever dining plan you want. You pay for it over time. It's not a big deal. In 2021, when I went on my honeymoon with my husband, we had to pay out of pocket because when the world shut down because of COVID and when Disney lost a lot of money. You got to think about it. Like, Disney lost a lot of money with their theme parks. Like, all of the parks that they have around the world, they lost a lot of money, obviously. So they had to think of a way to make their money back. They were not offering the dining plan in 2021 when the parks were slowly reopening. And so my husband and I had to pay out of pocket on our honeymoon for all of the restaurants that we went to. And it does add up over time. You got to think about it. So because it was a character dine experience, that's more expensive than just going to a regular restaurant at the park. So price-wise, it was really expensive, obviously. But I think on our honeymoon, we only did 2 character dining experiences. We did this, and then we did the Hollywood and Vine at Hollywood Studios for another character experience. But, like, price-wise, it was a little bit on the pricey side. But for a star rating, I am giving this a 4.5 out of 5 stars for Tusker House. It's just really a really great restaurant to dine at and experience. And I do have some pictures. So this first picture, like the facts said, this is a character dining experience. This is a picture of Goofy. Because it was the COVID times, these are the pictures from my 2021 a honeymoon trip. because of the COVID times, you couldn't take pictures like side by side with the Disney characters because of COVID. So you either had to stand in front of them 6 feet, or you could just take pictures from where you were sitting. So here is Goofy. This next picture is obviously the food. What we liked about this, because it was supposed to be a buffet, what they did, and a lot of buffets did this. I know in Canada they did, especially with the Mandarin. If anybody's ever heard of the Mandarin, what the buffet have done, they brought like samples from like each of the buffet part, or you could just order off a menu and they would just keep bringing like the different stuff that they offer from their buffet. And this is what we got, and it's just really great, amazing food, and you can't go wrong with this. Like, this just looks amazing, and my mouth is watering just looking at this picture. Next character that we got to see is obviously Daisy Duck. We got to see her, and she was just making her way around, strutting and posing for the cameras as usual. Because it was our honeymoon, and because we wore the badges that said celebrating a happily ever after because we just got married, we actually got free desserts. So we got a choice of all of these amazing desserts that they offered, and it just, like, what Disney does for their dishes, especially their desserts, to make it look this nice, like, oh my gosh. So you can see there is the cupcake with the Mickey ears. That's either a jaguar print, I think, and the orange frosting, and it was a vanilla cupcake. It was really good. I ate that. And then we had like a chocolate kind of a brownie cupcake with the tree, like the famous tree of life in the center. And then you had, I don't know what this was, but it's like a bee, like all bee like design, bee texture. Like, it was just wow. And the last picture was obviously the last character that we got to see before we left the restaurant. It was Mickey Mouse in his safari apparel, and he looks very dashing as always. We didn't get a chance to see Minnie, didn't get a chance to see Donald Duck, but I think they did the switch. I didn't think they had all 5 of the characters at the Tusker House at the time during 2021 because of the COVID times, but at least we got to see Mickey. So there you have it, all the facts to the Tusker House. If you like this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe, and I hope you have a zippity-doo-dah day. Goodbye.